Alright, so what we have here are 2 cups of flour. And in the center, I'm just going to make a little hole with my fingers. And into that, I'm going to crack 2 eggs. Yes, technically you should crack these into a bowl first, but to be quite honest, it's never been an issue for me, so I don't really worry about getting a little bit of shell in there. So that's 1 egg. And 2 eggs. Whoops. A little runoff, not such a big deal. The reason you don't have to do this on a cutting board, in fact, you could do it straight on the surface. It is nice to do it on a wood surface, and the cutting board makes it a little easier for cleanup. Sometimes if I'm doing only half a recipe, I'll just do a little bit, I'll just actually do it in a bowl, and that makes cleanup really simple. Alright, we take our fork and beat your eggs. And not the prettiest job in the world, but it's really fun. Something very just really comforting about getting back to basics and using your hands. Awesome. You can see by now it's pretty much come together, but it's definitely not ready yet. It's still not a firm, smooth ball, which is really what we're going for. So now we just keep kneading it. Alright, here's our dough ball, wrapped up. We're just going to let it sit there for about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes or so. Alright, so we're back. We have the dough that's been sitting. You can see how the texture of it has changed. It's become really nice and smooth and rested, which is what we want. So basically we're going to cut these into quarters. This is already a quarter of it. And just kind of flatten it out with your hands as best you can. Try and form it into a rectangle of sorts. Move this to the widest setting, which on mine is number 1. Turn it on to low speed. Gently start feeding it through. It's been fed through on the widest setting. You can take it and just pat it back into thirds. And again, fold it into thirds. And you're going to do this 5 times in total. Okay, and this is the 5th time. That's the final time we fold it into thirds on the widest setting. Okay, now that we have our dough rolled out on the number 1 setting, and turn it to number 2. And we're just going to keep going through, rolling it 1 time in each setting. And this is, by the way, at thickness number 7. You see how nice and smooth it is. And at this point, I'd usually like to these in half before we cut them into noodles. Otherwise, the noodles just get too long, and you've got this Lady in the Tramp thing going on, and that's no good. You could also leave these as they are, and you could use them at this point to make ravioli or lasagna noodles or anything you want. Half of our recipe, nicely rolled out on the counter. We're just going to want to make sure we flour these. Nicely floured. You kind of feed it through, and then you're going to want to catch it on the bottom. We have noodles. Looking pretty good, right? Pasta going in. I got the pasta with just the dish with the peas and the mushrooms. I think we'll give it a little toss, a little seasoning, and it should be good to go.